Some problems don't have solutions. No amount of positive thinking can fix a diagnosis. No affirmation can bring back someone you've lost. No journal prompt will make betrayal disappear. And that's where most advice falls apart. It keeps telling you how to move on, how to heal fast, how to let it go. But what if the most meaningful parts of life are found inside the things you can't fix? Viktor Frankl survived Auschwitz. Not because he escaped pain, but because he discovered a different question. When you can no longer change your circumstances, you are challenged to change yourself. So in this video, we're not going to talk about solutions. We're going to talk about how to stand inside what cannot be solved and still live with dignity, meaning, and clarity. If you've ever faced something that broke you, if you've ever whispered, "I don't know how to live through this," this is for you. These are 5 ways to face what can't be fixed. Not to escape it, but to become someone deeper inside it. Let's begin. 1. Shift the question from "why me?" to "what now?" The first question that shows up in suffering is always, "Why me?" It's a fair question. It's human. But it's also the question that traps you. It pulls you into blame, into spirals, into memories you can't rewrite. And the more you ask why, the less energy you have to choose what now. Viktor Frankl didn't waste time asking why he was imprisoned, why his family was taken, why his body was starving. He shifted the question. He asked, "What is life asking of me now?" And that shift, from victim to witness, from complaint to choice, was where his power began. So if you're facing something impossible right now, a loss, a betrayal, an ending you didn't ask for, you can ask why. But it won't heal you. The healing begins when you ask, what kind of person do I want to become because of this? Not in spite of it, but through it. Because meaning doesn't appear when things are easy. Meaning shows up the moment you decide your soul deserves a response more than your mind deserves an explanation. So stop chasing answers. Start becoming one. 2. Accept that some pain is not a problem. It's a path. We've been taught that pain is a problem, something to avoid, to fix, to medicate. But some pain doesn't go away because it's not meant to be treated. It's meant to be walked through. Viktor Frankl called suffering an invitation to meaning. Not all the time, not every wound, but some kinds of suffering open something in you that nothing else ever could. Think about it. Who were you before life broke your heart? Before you lost that person? Before the silence, the betrayal, the ending you didn't see coming? You weren't weaker, but you were unfinished. That pain didn't destroy you. It revealed you. Frankl didn't romanticize pain. He suffered deeply, but he believed this. In some way, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. Not a reason, not a justification, but a meaning, a way to carry it that builds you instead of breaks you. So stop asking how to make it stop. Start asking, what is this pain preparing me for? Because the pain may not be your fault, but the path you take through it, that's where your freedom begins. 3. Find meaning in the way you respond, not in what happens. Most of us search for meaning in the event itself, the breakup, the diagnosis, the loss. We try to find the why in what happened. And when we can't, we spiral. But Viktor Frankl flipped that question upside down. He didn't ask, what does this moment mean? He asked, what will I make this moment mean by the way I respond? That's where your power lives, not in changing the situation, but in choosing how you stand inside it. Frankl wrote, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is sacred. It's where you decide, will I react with bitterness or integrity? Will I run or will I stay present with myself? Will I let this pain shape me or define me? Life will happen. Some of it unfair, some of it unspeakably hard, but no one can take away how you respond. And that response, honest, brave, grounded, is where meaning begins to take form. Not because of what happened, but because of who you became inside it. 4. Let go of fairness and embrace responsibility. One of the most painful parts of deep suffering is how unfair it feels. Why did they get away with it? Why did this happen to me? Why didn't life protect me like it protected them? These questions are honest, real, human, but they're also heavy. And if you're not careful, they'll become the chains that hold you in a prison of bitterness. Viktor Frankl lived through the most radical injustice, losing his family, his dignity, and almost his life to a system built on cruelty. But instead of demanding fairness from the world, he accepted something deeper. We are not responsible for what happens to us, but we are responsible for who we become because of it. That's not weakness. That's strength without rage. It means this: you may never get closure, never get an apology, never get justice in the way you hoped. But you can still become someone who lives with clarity, with dignity, and with direction. Because meaning isn't born in fairness. It's born in the moment you say, "This shouldn't have happened, but I still get to decide who I will be now." Let the world be what it is, but don't let it decide who you are. 5. When nothing can be changed, let it change you. There are moments in life when nothing works. You've tried therapy, talked it out, prayed, waited, and still, the relationship is over. The answer doesn't come. The pain doesn't leave. This is where most people give up. But Viktor Frankl didn't. In the darkest place imaginable, where no one could rescue him, no justice existed, and no future was promised, he made a decision. If nothing around him could change, then he would. He chose to carry meaning into the meaningless. He chose to stand with dignity where dignity had been stripped. He chose to become a free person inside captivity. That's the paradox of the unfixable. You don't have to fix it to find your freedom inside it. Frankl wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." And sometimes, the only healing that ever happens is this. You become someone the pain cannot control anymore, not because it stopped, but because you did something it could not. You grew, not around it, through it. Some things in life don't get fixed. They don't resolve. They don't make sense. But maybe they don't have to. Maybe your freedom was never waiting at the end of a clean solution. Maybe your freedom lives right here, in how you breathe inside the mess, in how you walk forward without answers, in how you stop waiting for the story to make sense and start living in a way that makes sense to you. Viktor Frankl never promised healing, but he promised something deeper. That even in the darkest place, you still have one freedom left: to choose your attitude. Not the fake kind, not the toxic positivity, but a real, grounded human response to what life has asked you to carry. So if you're carrying something that feels too big, too broken, too final, know this: you don't need to fix it. You just need to find the version of yourself who can hold it and keep walking. And in that walking, with dignity, with awareness, with honesty, you'll find something more powerful than a solution. You'll find meaning.